Hello, and welcome back to Trending Japan. I'm Sakura.
And I'm Alex. Today's topics in Japan are why fewer and fewer young Japanese people are having children. And it's not because they don't want to.
Exactly. This is something that keeps me up at night, honestly.
Really?
Really. Because the answer isn't what most people outside Japan think.
So you're saying it's not just people being too busy?
No, it's much deeper than that. And it involves everything from apartment prices to something called oshikatsu, which I promise will make sense in about 5 minutes.
Okay, now I'm genuinely curious. That's why we're here today.
Let's dive in.
All right, so before we get into the complicated stuff, give me the shocking number. How bad is it?
Last year, Japan had fewer than 730,000 births. That's the lowest on record.
Wait, the lowest ever?
Ever. And the population is shrinking for the 12th consecutive year.
That's insane. I mean, Japan has what, 120 million people?
Yes, but that number gets smaller every year. Some demographers say by 2070, we could lose a third of our population.
Okay, but, and I say this gently, shouldn't people just have kids if they want them?
That's the thing, Alex. It's not that simple. Because most young Japanese people aren't saying, I don't want children. They're saying, I can't afford to have children, or the system makes it too hard.
Ah, okay, that's different.
Very different. So let me break this down into layers. First, money.
I'm listening.
The cost of raising one child in Japan from birth to age 22 is estimated at around 30 million yen.
30 million?
That's roughly 200,000 US dollars, and that's the conservative estimate.
What's included in that?
Everything. Childcare, education, cram school, we call it Juku, food, clothes, healthcare. And here's the thing, Japanese education is extremely competitive.
So you have to send your kid to cram school?
You don't have to. But if you don't, realistically, your child might fall behind in the entrance exam race. And entrance exams determine your entire future in Japan.
That sounds stressful.
It is. For parents and kids. But let's zoom out. A young couple in their late 20s, both working, are they actually making enough to support a 30 million yen investment?
I'm guessing not really.
Not really, especially because of something else happening in Japan, the rise of non-regular employment.
What does that mean?
So in Japan, there are two types of workers, seishain, permanent employees, and haken, or arubaito, temporary workers. Permanent workers get job security, benefits, paid leave, healthcare. Temporary workers get a paycheck. That's it.
That sounds rough.
It is. And more young Japanese people are stuck in temporary work. They can't get permanent positions. So they have no security, no healthcare, no predictability. Would you want to have a child in that situation?
Absolutely not.
Exactly. So economic anxiety is huge, but it's not the only thing.
What else?
The other part is people aren't even meeting each other anymore, or they're meeting, but they're not interested in relationships.
Oh, now we're getting to the good stuff. Tell me about this.
Okay, so first there's the practical issue. Dating apps in Japan have become exhausting.
How so?
Young women especially report being harassed, having their photos screenshotted, facing aggressive messages. The experience is so negative that many women just quit. They delete the apps. And if dating apps are the main way people meet because everyone's busy with work, then people just stop dating. That's actually really sad. It is. But there's another layer, and this is fascinating. There's a cultural shift happening where young people, especially men, are losing interest in relationships altogether.
They're just not interested?
Not interested in the traditional sense, yeah. In Japanese media, there's a term called soushoku danshi, literally herbivore men, guys who reject the pressure to pursue women, earn lots of money, and build a traditional family. They're like, no thanks, I'm good.
I kind of respect that, actually.
Many Japanese people do, but sociologically, it's a huge shift. Because for decades, the expectation was graduate, get a job, get married, have kids. That was the path.
And now?
Now that path feels optional, and people are choosing different things.
Like what?
Like oshikatsu. This is huge right now.
Okay, you promised to explain this.
Oshi means favorite idol or favorite celebrity, and katsu means supporting activities. So it's when fans dedicate huge amounts of time, money, and emotional energy to supporting their favorite musicians, actors, or idols.
Like a super fan?
Yes, but more intense and more normalized. A young woman might spend 3,000 to 5,000 yen every month on concert tickets, merchandise, fan club memberships. Some spend tens of thousands. And the time commitment is serious too. Attending concerts, fan events, creating fan art, being part of online communities.
And this is happening instead of dating?
For many people, yes. Because oshikatsu gives you community, passion, a sense of purpose. It's fulfilling. And you don't have to compromise with another person. You don't have to share your money or your time.
That's actually understandable.
Right? And it's not selfish, it's rational. Because here's the thing. Even if you do meet someone and fall in love and decide to have kids, there's another massive problem in Japan.
What's that?
Women are expected to be the primary childcare provider, even when they're working full-time.
Wait, that's still happening in Japan?
Yes, even though most Japanese women work. It's called one-ope ikuchi, one-op childcare. Like the mother is operating solo.
Even though there's a partner?
Even though there's a partner, yes. The father helps, but the mother is responsible. She's managing the schedule, coordinating with the daycare, handling sick days, doing most of the housework, while also working a full-time job.
That sounds completely exhausting.
It is. And here's what's wild. A lot of women are looking at their mothers or their friends who have kids and thinking, that looks miserable. I'm not doing that.
Can you blame them?
Not at all. And the government knows this is a problem. They've been trying to encourage fathers to take parental leave, but the culture is slow to change. Many Japanese men fear that taking parental leave will hurt their career prospects.
So it's not just about money or love, it's about power dynamics and who does the unpaid labor.
Exactly. And there's one more thing that really compresses young people's choices, the tax burden.
Tax burden?
Japan's national burden rate, taxes plus social insurance contributions, is around 45%. That's one of the highest in the developed world.
So basically half of what you earn goes to the government?
Close to it. Healthcare, pension contributions, unemployment insurance, childcare subsidy taxes, it all adds up. By the time a young person takes home their paycheck, there's not much left for actual living, let alone saving for a house or kids.
So you're telling me the government is taxing people heavily, childcare is expensive, the schools are competitive, finding a partner is exhausting, and once you find one, the woman has to do all the unpaid labor?
Yes.
And you're confused why people aren't having kids?
I know, right?
It's not, I don't want kids, it's this system is impossible.
Bingo. Exactly. In the US or Europe, you might see this issue too, but in Japan, there's less of a safety net. Healthcare is good, childcare subsidies exist, but they're not enough. And the cultural expectations, the mother as primary caregiver, the father as the sole earner, those haven't actually changed, even though economics have.
So it's a mismatch between what society expects and what's actually possible.
Yes, and here's what fascinates me. The government is starting to realize this. There are programs now offering childcare subsidies, encouraging remote work, trying to change the culture, but it takes time.
And meanwhile?
Meanwhile, young people are making rational decisions for their lives. They're choosing stability, passion projects like oshikatsu, friendships, and personal fulfillment over the traditional path. And that's not a moral failing. That's a response to the world we've created.
So, to recap, Japan's birth crisis isn't really about people not wanting kids. It's about an economic system, workplace culture, and gender expectations that make having kids nearly impossible for most young people.
And it's worth paying attention to, because this could happen, or is already happening, in other developed countries too.
Here's something to think about for you listeners. If you were a young Japanese person today, what would push you toward having kids? What would have to change? Let us know in the comments. We'd love to hear your thoughts. And if you enjoyed today's episode and want to stay in the loop on what's actually happening in Japan, don't forget to like and subscribe.
Until next time, mata ne.